I accidentally ended the video there. Apologies. I am single, yes, yes. So it won't matter so much if I lose my teeth. No beautiful lady will have to kiss me. No worries. What's your thesis say from a demon lady kiss? A demon lady kiss? No, my teeth are not necessarily safe. They might fall out, but the point I'm making is it doesn't matter to a beautiful woman because I'm single. It only matters to me. No woman has to look at me. Close up. Oh, you're a single man as well. But I'm assuming you're a man based on your profile picture. Is that your picture? Do you like living in Russia? Maybe not so much this time of year, or do you like this time of year? Do you like the snow? Some people like the snow. Is there wildlife where you are? Wolves, bears? Which part of Russia are you in? I don't claim to know Russia very well, but... Oh, that's Johnny Depp in the DP. Oh. Handsome man, isn't he? He was Edward Scissorhands, wasn't he? Remember that show? We have lots to be grateful for. You're in Kazan. Oh. Good. I'm glad to meet you, Fahmy. Welcome to Ireland and love from Ireland. Love from Ireland to Russia. Blessings. It doesn't get as cold in Ireland as in Russia, but it's humid here. It's humid weather, so when it does get cold, it sort of gets into your bones, you know what I mean? I've seen your name in the live, yeah? I've seen your name. What age are you, Fahmy? Are you a married man? Oh, I think you already said that. Yeah, I'm like you too, single. Oh. From which city are you? Wexford. Yeah, you're single. There are benefits to being single, aren't there? There are benefits to being single. There are benefits to being married. There are pros and cons in all things. Many benefits for being single, yes. You've lots more time to do things, to achieve things. And much less responsibility. Because I think when you're married, at least the Bible says when you're married, your focus, your attention is for your wife. And when you're single, your attention can be for God. And you have more time. You just generally have more time, don't you? You can do some building, some DIY, I do painting. I have some injuries in my body because I was arrested by the police one time and they destroyed my shoulder. at the rotator cuff here and into the shoulder blade. It's destroyed. It's not strong, and I struggle. I can't get it strong again. And they did the left shoulder as well. Not as bad as the right, but yeah, it has problems as well. So, and I have hip problems as well, and slip discs in my back. Now the slip discs can be improved, but I don't know if the shoulders will be improved without surgery. Okay, so why was I arrested? I shouldn't have been arrested. So there's no reason, like rational reason, there's no legitimate reason, because I was acquitted. After they arrested me, they let me go. They had nothing to hold me for. And the judge said that I shouldn't have been arrested. But the point is that I was in the courthouse and I raised an issue with the judge. And the judge got up and left the court, and the guards escorted me out of the courtroom. At that point, I no longer tried to re-enter the court. I was out in the courthouse hallway, which I was entitled to be there. And they just kept badgering me and hounding me to leave the courthouse. And eventually they became physical. And I say eventually, I'm talking about in a space of a minute. Maybe two. And they wouldn't let me back into the building. So I tried to get back into the building, because it's in a public place. It's your right to be there, you know. And they said, just leave, just leave, just leave. So eventually, one of them grabbed me by the arm, and he wasn't rough. He didn't hurt me in any way. He was just sort of escorting me, just guiding me off the premises, which was fine, because he wasn't too much. He wasn't using excessive force or anything. So I went with him. I didn't resist him in any way. And see, that's the thing. I wasn't physically resisting them at any stage. Not once did I physically resist them. I was always imposed on by them. And they escorted me to the outside of the courthouse, where two guards pulled up in a car. And these were big fellas, you know. You could tell that they were in the gym, or maybe they played sport at school. They were developed. They had big bodies on them, you know. And I was quite a slight man, but I turned to address the guard that had just given me into the custody of these two big guys. Like, what are you doing? You know, to address him, to talk to him. And as I turned, they treated me like I was a thug, but there had been very little communication between the guy who escorted me off the property and the guards that just arrived on the spot. And then I turned to address the man, and the two of them locked onto my shoulders, like really locked onto them as I was turning. So the momentum of me turning met the guards grabbing my arms, and it tore my rotator cuffs. And there was a lot of force involved, because I turned quickly. So as I was turning quickly, you know that torque and leverage is very powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they had have just grabbed my arms and I was trying to move forward, it wouldn't have harmed me. But because I was turning, you've got torque and leverage. They're two forces. So you've got torque and leverage, and then sudden stop, because they just latched onto my arms really quickly. So it was all that torque, all that leverage, and then the sudden stop of the guards grabbing my arms just wrecked me. They basically crippled me. They maimed me. It was just barbaric. And at no stage was I physical with them. At no stage did I lay a hand on any of them. At no stage did I resist them. Sure, they saw the guard taking me by the elbow off the property. Now, the guard, if I was resisting him, he wouldn't have been able to escort me by the elbow. He wouldn't have. He probably, if I was trying to hurt him, he'd be on his back. So I wasn't trying to hurt anybody. I'm a Christian. I'm a peaceful man. Because I'm a trained martial artist. If I wanted to hurt that guard, he wasn't keeping me by the elbow. No chance. So I left peacefully with the guard, and then they just grabbed onto me. Kempo karate, Crumbler, Fob. Kempo karate. It's very lethal. It's not mixed martial arts. You wouldn't be allowed to do the stuff that they teach you in MMA. You really wouldn't. It's savage. It's a proper martial art. It's designed for killing. So there's no way that guard, he was a big man though, he was a lot bigger than me, but there was still no way that he would have been able to hold on to me. So they saw, that's not the point I'm making, I'm not into all of that. All I'm saying is that they saw that I was walking peacefully with the guard before they brutally bodied me, basically. And they timed it. They waited for their moment. It's not sad for me, because I don't get sad. I'm a Christian. We're not conquered by sad spirits. But it's very, really permanent, lifelong damage that they did to me. Kempo, not a Celtic martial art, no, it's the original martial art from the Okinawan Islands. Oh, sorry, you're answering Fami's question. Is Irish a Slavic language? Celtic. It's Celtic language. Oisin, that's an Irish name. Welcome, Oisin. So yeah, it's excessive force to my permanent injury, and I brought it to the Garda Ombudsman, and they said, yeah, we'll take your statement. Yeah, we're going to investigate this. Da-da-da. They did nothing about it. Do I remember Fami's name? Let me think. I can't remember your name, Fami. Can you remind me? Dale Royal, yeah. It sounds like a stage name. Dale Royal from Russia. Welcome. I think it's good that Irish people and Russian people mix together. And for peace. Yeah, might be, but suits on my personality. So yeah, so the guards destroyed my shoulders. Homelessness destroyed my hips. So I'm 41 and I'm relatively disabled. But I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep trying. But I have applied for disability. because I'm not capable of working a full-time job. And I've been out of work for 2 years on account of my injuries. So I qualify. When I was working, I was a chef, Femi, and then I was a full-time musician, which I struggle at. It's a very difficult industry, music. Because in Ireland is a relatively small country, and there's sort of a small clique of people who've been in the music industry for quite a while, and they've sort of monopolized it. And if you're not in the clique, if you're not in the know and in with the people, it's very, very difficult to get access to enough gigs and enough work to really make a career out of it. But I tried for 8 years, and I really tried hard for 8 years to make it work, and it wasn't because I wasn't good enough. It was just, again, access. I didn't have the access because other people were monopolizing, and they didn't want to give me access. Basically. Chef, great, I'm a young jeweler. You're a jeweler. It's interesting work. My granddad was a watchmaker. Similar work. Crumbler fob. What instrument? I play guitar. When I was playing professionally, I used to play guitar and sing. I'm not a very advanced guitarist, but I play rhythm well. I play rhythm guitar. I accompany my voice well. You're a gold jeweler. Beautiful. I'd like to see some of your pieces. Do you play an instrument, Oisín? What do you do, or what do you intend to do? Over the last week, I had a big infection in my throat, and I took antibiotics because I don't take antibiotics easily. And I was wondering, I was like, is this bacterial infection? Because it's not, the antibiotics aren't working. And I was on day 3 of the antibiotics, and they say usually day 3 is when you'll start to see them working. And it got to night time, and then I was like, this might be a fungal infection, this might be viral, maybe the antibiotics won't work. So I was starting to get concerned because the inflammation was getting worse, and it's in my throat, so breathing. And then all of a sudden I felt this surge of energy in my body last night, so like a big adrenaline release or something, and the pain went away, and now this morning the inflammation has gone down. Amazing. And I feel a lot better, so I'm very grateful. Praise God. Femi says, I want to send you some gift, man. You're a good man, so how can I send you? Tell me. Well, none, I believe as a Christian, none are good but God alone. I try my best to be a good man. Oisín doesn't play anything. Not yet. Have you tried the bodhrán, Oisín? It's great fun. Recommend anybody taking up the bodhrán. Oisin, are you a student? Yeah, I'm in college. Yeah, yes, Dale, we can exchange addresses and I can send you a painting. I'll send you a painting. Tell me, is there a specific creature you like, or is there a specific scene that you like? And I can send you a painting of something you like to look at. So let me know and I'll paint you a picture. Do. You know where they sell affordable Bowrons, Oisin? They sell them on Gear for Music, about 60, 70 quid, because otherwise you're looking in the hundreds. They're quite expensive otherwise. But it's a good starter instrument, you know. That's what I bought. It works, it'll do the job to get you going. Gear for Music. Wonky Donkey TV. It's a cold one in West Yorkshire this morning. Walking through the city centre, seeing people asleep on benches. It's hard to look at, isn't it? Outside the big beautiful cathedral is sad. Yeah, I spent 6 months homeless myself, about 2 years ago now, and destroyed my hips, ruined my hips, wonky donkey. You can't receive paintings? You can't receive gifts? I can send you a painting, that's no problem. It won't be, you won't be able to tell it's a painting, because I'll paint it on paper, and then you can get it, framed if you want over there. So I won't be sending like big canvases or frames or anything. It'll just arrive as a letter arrives, Femi, just like standard post. So you needn't be concerned. Political issues? But I won't try to force you or anything. I'd like to send you a painting though. It should just arrive as standard post though. Just as a letter. And so relatively quickly as well. You sure you don't want me to send you one? The war, maybe. Are you not allowed to receive post at the moment, Amy? Dale? I'll tell you what I'll do then, Dale. You tell me what painting you want painted, and I'll paint it, and I'll send you a picture of it. I'll send you a photograph of the painting, and then you'll have it. How about that? Tell me what you want me to paint. And I'll paint it for you, and I'll send you a photograph. It's very generous to send gold. Very generous. Don't have any jewellery. Somebody gave me a band. I don't know where I put it. He made it. I think he's a German guy. He made a bracelet by twisting the cables together. You know that? I don't know where I put it now. Must have a look around for it. It's around somewhere. Because I took it off having a shower. Don't worry about it. Yeah, maybe. Don't be concerned. But I'd still like to see your work. Can't really play much at the moment because the guy upstairs is just in from a long shift at work. He comes back in the morning, so I can't really play it loudly or for long. But maybe later on, when he wakes up. I have to respect his sleep time. Because he works with older people, minding them. He's a carer. Very important work, isn't it? Thank you, Oisin. Yeah, that's the thing about us. We can always develop in one area or another. There's my little drum trolley, you see? Of different frame drums and beaters, and there's the Bowron at the back. And here's a cajon I built. See it? A cajon drum. Sit on and play there. So, yeah, you can always develop. Doesn't matter what age you get to, you can develop yourself. So. And people often kind of place limitations on themselves, don't they? Praise the Lord. 'Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take him at his word, just to rest upon his promise, just to say, thus saith the Lord. The reason I left the music industry was because, again, it was very difficult to find gigs enough to really kind of make a living out of it. And then my child came along, and it was very difficult because myself and my fiance, we split up, and my little one would be with me 3 days a week. And so it meant that she'd be arriving early in the morning, but I'd only be getting home some nights at 5 a.m, like 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. And so a lot of the time I'd only have 2 hours sleep before the little one would arrive. So I didn't feel right that I couldn't be there fully alert and ready to engage the day with her, you know. And sometimes I'd be coming back from the gigs a couple of times and I fell asleep at the wheel. And I thought, I can't keep doing this. I'm going to die. Like, I would literally be like this. You know, doing one of them at the wheel. And one day I was veering towards the hedge and I woke up and I said, that's it. I can't keep this up. Physically can't do it. Like you're up with the little one at whatever 5, 6 a.m. and then you're up till 5 a.m. in the next morning. You know what I mean? So it just didn't. I couldn't do it. It's not humanly possible. So that's why I quit, for those two reasons. And I mean, they were starting to cancel gigs on me. Like, I was driving from Wexford to Dublin, which is 2.5 hours. Could be 3 hours, depending on whether you had to go through the city or not. And I'd be nearly at Dublin after driving 2 hours, and they'd say, "Oh, gig is cancelled." So they were cancelling gigs when I was arriving in Dublin. It's total disrespect. Like, it's just total mockery. And then they wouldn't give me any cancellation money. No fee, no cancellation fee. So I was after missing time with my then fiance, my then daughter, and still my daughter, but I don't see her as often. And the reality was that then you were after missing a day with them, a night and evening with them, and they didn't value it at all, that you were after driving 2 hours, the cost of the petrol or the diesel, and they just cancelled the gig. Total disrespect. So I just left. I had enough. Did it for like 6, 7, 8 years, something like that, and I'd put everything I had into it. And then they were cancelling gigs on the way to the performance. Enough was enough. So that was just what it was, you know. I did right, yeah. You have to prioritise your family and your duty and responsibility to them. But shortly after that I became homeless and had to sell everything that I had. Musical equipment, my car, and they gave myself and my daughter only 6 weeks to leave the property because they were selling it, and we were unable to find another place in that 6 weeks, and so I became homeless and she went to live with her mum. So I didn't have an income then. So it is what it is. I'm going, it's my working time, you know, I mean customer dealing time. Okay, bye, take care, God bless you. God bless you, Dale. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy the snow. You making a snowman? Yeah, praise the Lord. None are good but God alone. That guitar's from Gear for Music, actually, Oisin. It's decent. They do decent equipment. Actually, I don't really listen to that much music at the moment. I used to listen to a good bit of rock music. Like, I used to listen to stuff that was good music, but it was principally demonic. So I stopped listening to it when I became Christian. And actually, at one stage, I rewrote a lot of the songs that I used to play in the hotels, and I rewrote the lyrics of them, and I used to busk the new lyrics on the street when I was homeless, or and it was it's just what I did. But it was interesting to rewrite the lyrics of the songs and make them work with Christianity. So what I play would be like anything from Johnny Cash to you know, all sorts of sort of middle of the road music, you know, like pop charts music, and throughout the decades. And it would be, you know, sort of what I used to earn my money on. That kind of music, just rewritten, repurposed. But when I busk, I'm persecuted while I busk, like spiritually. So the devil uses it as an opportunity to persecute me. Like, for example, I'd go out and I'd busk for 2 hours, and I'd make nothing, zero money. And like there'd be 0 gifts, 0 contributions. And then another day there might be €1.40, or there might be €2, but it would be for hours of work, hours of playing, you know. So you have to kind of qualify what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what you're trying to get out of it, you know. And so it doesn't. I do busk now, but I don't play for as long, and I don't do it for money. And by doing that, I'm cutting the devil off. He can't interfere with people's contributions. And it doesn't bother me if he does, because it's not the reason I go out to play the music. I go out to play the music just to brighten people's day up, to continue to develop the craft and to maintain it, and just for the enjoyment of it. But while I'm busking, I get attacked. Spiritually, demons attack me. They actually interfere with the singing voice. Sometimes I'll even be sitting in this room playing a drum, and they'll interfere with the drumming. Because they're cosmic entities, they can interfere with your nervous system to cause issues with reflexes and with the utilization of the apparatus when you're singing. They can interfere with your breathing or your vocal cords or whatever it is to hinder your busking. So it's torment, basically. I'm demonically tormented when I busk, when I play music. But God allows it. For whatever reason He allows it, He allows it. It's been for years now. For years, like. In 2 years I've been demonically tormented while I'm playing music. So, this is what it is. We just persevere as Christians. We're tormented in this world. Can you give an overview of flat Earth? Do you believe there are continents beyond the Arctic wall? That's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I've seen maps that say there are, other continents or anything. I believe that the world is as the Bible describes, and we can't really go beyond that. As Christians, it would be pretentious to. I think that the Earth is a flat surface. It's an enclosed system. The seas are contained by the ice wall. And the firmament contains the Earth. So there are limitations, there are limits to the Earth, to the universe. And where exactly they are, I think the limits are at the ice wall. That's my own personal thinking on it. I think the outermost portion of the Earth is the ice wall. Like the the universe. That's my thinking on it. We've no evidence for anything else. The Bible doesn't talk about anything else. So, with respect to that point, I think the South Pole, South Arctic Circle rather, what they call the South Pole, is the outer limit. Have you got any favourite books besides the Holy Bible? No, I just read the Bible. I was never an avid reader, even before becoming Christian. I don't tend to sit down with a book and have a read of it. It was never really something I did. But with the Bible it's different. I will read it. Because it's like talking to God. It's like hearing his voice. So no, the Bible is my favourite collection of books. All about Christianity for me, all about the Lord. And I'm awaiting his return and our return to the rest of God, to the eternal heavens of God. This one, online. Can't recall where exactly. Just kind of Googled Christian pins. Can't remember where I got it, which store exactly. Might have been Amazon. Might have been Temu, Temu. Can't remember now. Hi Nathan, welcome to the stream. Every word inspired in the Hebrew and Greek in originally. Yeah, written in Hebrew and Greek was the Bible. The languages of the time, weren't they? And in the area. Are you Christian, Nathan? Because if you have any questions about Christianity, feel free to ask. An overview of the flat earth. Okay, so the flat earth is, I believe, yes, by God's choice, beautiful, is a circle, like a plate, a dinner plate. If you imagine the way the plate comes up at the edge to contain sauces or liquids, that's what I believe the earth looks like. But I believe it's got like an upside down bowl or a hemispherical firmament, vault, arc above that plate, that dinner plate shape. And it sits on top of it. And the seas are contained, and the firmament itself and we are actually submerged in water. The whole universe is underwater, as the Bible describes. If you read the book of Genesis, you'll see that. God placed the firmament in the midst of the water to separate the water above the firmament from the water beneath the firmament. So that means that outside the firmament there's water. We're surrounded by water, which explains why the sky is blue. And I believe the sun is inside that upside down bowl, or in the open firmament, the open heavens. The sun and the moon, they go around the flat earth like this. The sun followed by the moon, and the greater light to govern the day, the lesser light to govern the night. And I believe the stars are embedded in the firmament. They're up there, really high up in the heavens. Not outside in outer space, no such thing. They're actually closer to us. And people have actually zoomed in on little Nikon cameras and seen that the stars are these beautiful arrays of colour. They are these moving bodies of light. And I believe even the stars worship God. I believe that there's more to the stars than people think. Sorry guys, I'm a bit drowsy because I've taken some paracetamol and I'm on antibiotics. So excuse my closing eyes. I normally try and stay away from paracetamol and antibiotics, but I had a pretty bad infection in my throat. It was really swollen, so it's a lot better now today. So that's what I think about the flat earth. Fundamentally, that's the basics of it. A firmament in the midst of the waters, the earth and the seas, and the ecosystem is providing new oxygen to us. Recycling and renewing the air. Makes sense that God would bring forth the ecosystem first to condition the atmosphere to contain life. Breathing life. Living, breathing. That's exactly how Genesis says it. So again, welcome to the stream, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, questions about Christianity, about the worldview of Christianity, etc. Feel free. Any questions pertaining to Christianity or the faith or the worldview of Christianity, how it opposes the worldviews and other faith systems, in the world. And why is it the true faith? How do we know that it's the true faith? How do we know that Jesus Christ is God? How do, all these questions that other faith systems would have about Christianity, we can answer them here. Just ask your questions. You want to know about the theory of evolution? Why isn't it true? How can we observe that the earth did have a beginning, that it was created? How can we observe these things? Now, I'm not into apologetics, but I do think it's important that we disprove the false worldviews that are propagated by NASA and Elon Musk and quantum physicists and all of these people who are the devil's servants, and he's paying them and giving them advantage to perpetuate his lies. And promote false worldviews to conquer the hearts and minds of people and lead them into hell through deceptions. So all that's going on. The Bible says that Satan has deceived the whole world by his pharmakia. And sorcery is basically sort of like mixing something somewhat good with something evil. So it's a concoction, you know, like a poison apple, you know. God's elect. Nathan says, yes, by God's choice, he is Christian. We are called God's elect. He elects us. He delivers us from this world. He calls us to himself, and we answer his call and try to lead others to him also. Just going to hang up this guitar. Yeah. There's another guitar hanging up, restored on the wall. Um, yeah. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And if you don't, I'm going to clock out because it's been an hour, and I'll go and do my little bit of shopping and get a cycle in. I forgot I had my potatoes on for later on. They're nearly ready. Or they're ready, rather. They're cooked. Just have to prepare them. So have you any questions about Christianity? If you haven't, I shall clock out. Feel free to ask any questions. Like, subscribe to the channel, and I will make daily live streams like this available for just chatting and asking questions about Christianity and trying to understand the worldview, and especially how it compares to other world faith systems, why it is the correct faith and the truth, and other faiths are in error. To give you an example, Islam claims that you can enter heaven only if you do enough good deeds. And this is totally fundamentally wrong, because you can't bribe a just judge with good deeds. Like, can you imagine you go before the court and you're after robbing a post office? You say, Judge, I did rob the post office, but since I robbed the post office, I've done a lot of charity work in the community. And will you let me go free? The judge would be a criminal himself if he let you go free after knowing you've robbed the post office. You see, the judge has to hold you accountable to the crime you've committed. A just judge must hold you accountable to the crime you've committed. He must receive payment for the crime. So if you can bribe a judge with good deeds, like I helped the old lady across the road, I carried her shopping for her, I gave money to the local charity for the homeless. If you think you can bribe God with good deeds, you don't understand justice, and you need to improve that understanding and seek God for that understanding. So that's why Jesus came. He had to come to pay for the crimes if we're to be reconciled back to God in heaven. Because he's the only one that could pay for them on our behalf. You see? You see how it works? So that's how we can tell that Islam isn't the true faith. Christianity is the true faith because we know that our God can't be bribed with good deeds. That's the kind of God you want to follow. You don't want a God that can be bribed. Just like you don't want a king that can be bribed. You want somebody straight, so you know where you stand at all times. So, I hope that helps. Blessings in Jesus' name. If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Blessings in Jesus' name. A holy kiss. Have a good day.